Hello, Sagittarius, brave soul on the path of seeking light. I'm your companion on this spiritual journey. And if you're hearing this right now, it's not a coincidence. There are moments in life when everything on the outside may seem quiet, but inside you, a wave is rising. Sagittarius, I can feel it moving through your energy field. You're not just changing, you're opening a doorway, one that leads you back to yourself. There's been a strange feeling weaving through your recent days, like everything is shifting, then suddenly standing still. Do you notice it, those long silences? As if something or someone is holding you in invisible arms, a nameless peace, mixed with sharp pangs in your chest that you can't quite name, but I'm here to remind you, you're not lost, you're discovering a version of yourself, truer, deeper, and freer than ever before. Between October 22nd and 25th, a new light will shine on your path, not from the outside, but from within, from those parts of you you've kept hidden for far too long. This is not about luck, and it's not just fate, it's the return of everything you once planted in silence. The tears you cried when no one could see, the courage you summoned, even when you weren't sure you could keep going. Every effort, every letting go done in loneliness, is being witnessed by the universe. There's an old energy beginning to dissolve, like smoke leaving a room. It may show up as a sudden message, an unexpected conversation, or someone from your past returning in a different form. But this time, you won't be shaken, not because you're forcing strength, but because your heart has learned how to stand still in truth. Let it fall away. Let what no longer serves you leave gracefully. Sometimes loss is just freedom in disguise. I see someone who once had a deep influence on how you saw your own worth. They may not have meant to hurt you. They simply didn't know how to live honestly with themselves, and in the process, they cast their shadow over your light. But after the 22nd, you'll no longer let that shadow blur your vision. The mask will fall, not to cause drama, but to bring clarity. You'll see their true intentions behind those sweet words. You'll feel the energy behind their half smiles, and you'll choose what's right, without defending it, without needing anyone to validate your worth, because deep down, you already know you are worthy. Sagittarius, I know your heart is a vast and wild land. You love with all your spirit, you live as if tomorrow holds a miracle, and because of that, you've also been deeply wounded. How many times have you given and received nothing in return? How often have people misread you because your heart was just too big to fit their frame? But the love you've given unconditionally was never wasted. It was how your soul learned the most important lesson, how to love without losing yourself. There is a shift happening in your connections. Someone who once held spiritual power over you will begin to fade, not because you choose to confront them, but because you've chosen to rise in frequency. When you move to a higher vibration, anything that no longer matches you will naturally fall away from your energy field. And that is the most beautiful kind of protection the universe can give you. Let it fall, like dry leaves dropping from a tree. No anger, no longing. Just a natural part of growing up. In the nights near the end of October, pay attention to your dreams. The images may be strange, the people may feel unfamiliar, but a few days later, their meaning will reveal itself. Your intuition is being activated strongly. You may feel someone whispering from the other side, or sense a cold breeze passing through you for no reason. Don't be afraid. These are messages from the spirits who protect you. They're helping you close a cycle that should have ended long ago. And yes, you will see someone leave. Maybe through silence, maybe through distance, but don't chase after them. Silence has its own language. It says, you no longer need to learn from this. Let them go with gratitude. Grateful that once they helped you believe in something beautiful. Grateful even for the pain, because it taught you how to love yourself. And when you can release someone without needing them to understand you, that's when your soul has truly healed. I also see something else. There is something you once put aside. A dream, a project, a gift you were passionate about, but had to abandon because of circumstance. It's coming back, not in its old form, but like a flame being reignited by the new version of you. Don't doubt it. Don't ask, is it too late? Whenever you are ready energetically, the door will open by itself. From the 22nd to the 25th, don't be afraid of beginnings, whether it appears as a new person, an unexpected opportunity, or an invitation you didn't see coming. Listen to that feeling in your chest. If your heart stirs, that is the sign. And if you are still here reading this, leave a commitment to the universe. Write this down. I am ready to cross the new threshold with my inner light. Because this isn't just an astrological event. This is a homecoming. A return to yourself. A return to the path your soul was born to walk. And if something that once hurt you appears again, it's not because you failed to learn. It's because now you are strong enough to let it bloom, instead of letting it break you again. And I hope you listen to these words with an open heart, not a guarded one, because between October 22nd and 25th, a new presence will step into your life, not the glittering kind of ideal love written in books, but a true connection where you don't have to work hard to be understood. This person will see the shades in you that so many others before them have missed. And the most beautiful part is, you will also see yourself more clearly through their eyes. No rushing, no labels, no testing or doubting. This connection will arrive with a pure, warm, gentle energy, not loud, not blinding, but deep, deep like an autumn morning when you open the door and sunlight slips quietly through the leaves. There will be a sense of safety, not from promises, but from presence. You won't need to hide your tender parts anymore. Sagittarius, you're standing on an invisible threshold. On one side is the version of you the world has known, the wanderer, the giver, the fighter of truths. On the other side is a version calling you home, deeper, wiser, more accepting. And that is why every emotion in you feels amplified right now, not because you're weak, but because you're expanding. You're not falling, you're growing wings. Look at the space around you. It's a reflection of your inner world. If something feels tight or stagnant, move it. A room needs to breathe. Just as much as you do, open the windows, shift the furniture. Let go of objects tied to memories that no longer serve your journey now, because when you renew your space, you renew the flow inside you. And there's one more thing, something no one has reminded you enough. You've been far too hard on yourself. Why blame yourself for having trusted? Why carry the weight just because you once loved with everything you had? Love is never a mistake. Hope is not blindness. If you trusted, if you loved, if you gave, that wasn't weakness. It was proof of courage. At some moment in the days ahead, maybe through an unexpected sentence, a gentle reunion, or a strange coincidence, something inside you will say, "Ah, now I understand." You'll understand why things had to fall apart. You'll understand why you had to wait so long. You'll understand why every sorrow was born and why it had its own ending. From that moment on, you won't look back with the same eyes. You won't blame yourself, you won't resent anyone, and you won't regret. And then something quiet and miraculous happens. You breathe easier, you sleep deeper. You no longer feel like you're struggling to be okay. You begin to live as someone who is finally in harmony with themselves. Believe me, this is not something mystical or exaggerated. This is the result of every night you held on instead of collapsing. It is the answer to the prayers you whispered when no one was listening. And whatever comes after that will be real. It will be whole. It will be gentle but not shallow, steady but never dull. Sagittarius, you are the sign of those who dream big, who look far ahead. But this time, the lesson comes from the small things, like the way someone looks at you without judging, or how your heart suddenly feels peaceful for no particular reason. The universe never tested you to make you doubt yourself. Everything you went through was so you could realize you were worthy of love without needing to prove a single thing. Begin receiving softly, like opening your arms instead of clenching a fist. Believe that you don't have to be more deserving anymore. You've been enough for a very long time. From here on, the right people will come naturally. Your body will feel lighter. Plans will no longer feel like burdens, but like joy. Not because life suddenly gets easy, but because you finally stop fighting yourself. And there's something else, and I need to say it slowly, softly. Because not everyone is quiet enough inside to notice. For a long time, the universe has been sending you signals, repeating numbers, a song playing the exact moment you need it, an old image that stirs your heart, a strange feeling you can't quite name. You see it, don't you? All of that is a message, an invitation, a bell ringing you awake from the long sleep of unconsciousness. Between October 22nd and 25th, something will happen, small but unmistakable, marking the moment you reclaim the part of your soul you once lost. No one needs to prove anything to you anymore, and you don't have to fight to be seen. You just need to allow yourself to truly see that you were always enough. Write this down in your journal or on a note you'll see often. I don't need to shut myself down anymore. I am ready to open my heart to life. Because you're entering a time when light is no longer something you chase. It's something you emanate. The little fragments of hope, of faith, of lost sunlight. They're finding their way back to you. Not loudly, not brightly. They return like an invisible thread, gently pulling the scattered pieces together, tightening, mending. And when you touch that meeting point, you'll feel something strange. For the first time in a very long time, you'll realize you have come back to yourself. I can also see a shift in how you think about the future. Before, you saw it like a storm you had to dodge. You measured, you doubted, as if you were waiting for something bad to happen. But after the last days of October, your awareness begins to open, like a field where the fences have finally been taken down. You stop living in reaction mode and start choosing, not because life becomes easier, but because you stop resisting yourself. There will be an afternoon seemingly ordinary, when you feel a silence unlike the others, not emptiness, but peace. A peace that may bring tears without explanation, and you'll know you don't have to chase anything. What belongs to you will know how to find you. There's also something subtle I want to share, something most people aren't quiet enough to sense in you. Your energy is powerful, you shine in your own way, and that light, it both pulls people in and unsettles them. Because inside you there is magnetism, intuition, fire, and depth. Some will be drawn to it, some will be intimidated, but that doesn't mean you have to hide. Yes, sometimes you have to walk alone, but that is not punishment. It is the sacred space where your strength matures, and now you're beginning to feel the shift. Your words carry more weight. Your ideas ripple through others. Even your silence makes the world take notice. You're not becoming someone else, you're returning to yourself, you're remembering your soul's original mission. Sagittarius, something beautiful is approaching. Not like a thunderclap, but like the quiet brightness of early dawn. First, there's a gentle clarity. then a warmth in your chest, then a pull, a subtle yet undeniable urge to move forward without needing a reason, simply because your soul knows it's time. That will be your compass for the new chapter. And if you're still unsure, remember this: real souls don't wait to understand everything before they take a step. They simply feel that the time has come. I also see a striking image, maybe symbolic but powerful nonetheless. You're standing in front of a mirror. No more judgment, no more sadness. Only a gaze, honest and full of compassion. You see it now. You're no longer who you used to be. You no longer live by old definitions, and the things that once made you cry are now just distant echoes. This is rebirth, and as your new soul begins to shape itself, an opportunity will arise. It could be an invitation, a project, a conversation, or maybe just a sentence that makes your heart vibrate. Don't overlook it, because if it warms your chest when you hear it, then it's destiny calling your name. There's something I need you to understand, something few people are brave enough to say out loud. Not every wound is meant to hurt you. Sometimes the universe shakes you just to remind you, you deserve more. And you, Sagittarius, you've gotten so used to resisting that you've forgotten how to open your heart. But the cycle beginning on the 22nd, it doesn't ask you to be strong. It only asks you to be open. You don't need to fight to hold on anymore. You just need to allow the good to come in. There will be physical signs. Your sleep might shift. You might feel the urge to clean your space, or a sudden need to go outside to breathe, to begin again. Your body is aligning to a new frequency. Listen to it. If it asks for stillness, give it quiet. If it longs for light, open the windows. And now, this is the final thing I want you to hear with your whole heart. You are not walking alone. There are souls walking with you, as light as a breeze, as warm as a silent touch. You don't need to call them in desperation. You only need to trust they are already here. I also feel a presence, an ancient feminine energy surrounding you. A wisdom from women who were silent for far too long. Your ancestors, they live through you. And when you choose not to repeat the limitations they once endured, they are healed. When you choose to love yourself, they smile. You are ending cycles that began long before you were born. And the universe, it claps for you every single time you say no to anything that drains your light. Every boundary you set is a declaration that you deserve more. The conversations that used to drain you suddenly lose their pull. The faces that once made you tremble no longer hold that same power over you. This isn't indifference. This is spiritual maturity. You're no longer caught up in every passing wave of emotion. You start choosing peace over drama, and then the universe will test you one more time. Old scenes, familiar people, words that once confused or hurt you will resurface. But this time, you won't react the way you used to. No more anger, no more self-blame, no more trying to explain yourself. Just a deep stillness within and a quiet voice that says, I've changed. That is the sign you've passed the lesson, and then something strange, something beautiful begins to happen. You start attracting new souls. Some come to ask for your wisdom. Some just want to be near you without knowing why. That is your new frequency. A kind of light that can't be faked. A peace that needs no explanation. But remember this, peace doesn't mean everything is perfect. There will be days when you remember someone, a face that's no longer beside you, a name you no longer say out loud. And when that moment comes, allow yourself to feel the memory gently without holding on. Every tear that falls during this time will wash away an ancient residue, not just yours, but something that runs deep through your bloodline. Sometimes you'll feel someone near you, not to speak, but to hold the light for you while you sleep. If you feel a soft chill or a gentle touch brushing your skin, in that space between dreams and waking, don't be afraid. They're tuning your energy, helping you adjust to the light that's rising within you. Let them. You've come so far, Sagittarius, and you never have to go back again. The path ahead isn't about proving anything. It's about living truthfully. Write this down where you can see it every morning. I don't need to convince anyone of my worth. I just need to live in it. And if these words have stirred something within you, I invite you to write this in the comments below. I'm ready to step onto the other shore of maturity. Because between October 22nd and 25th, you are no longer the seeker. You are the light you were chasing. There will come a moment when the universe places you before a clear choice. One path is familiar, safe, and well-worn. The other unmarked, unpromised. But it makes your heart feel peaceful when you imagine it. Choose what calms your spirit, even if your mind still doubts it, because the body doesn't lie and your soul speaks through it. I see a situation approaching. It may involve work, a past connection, or an invitation from someone who once left a scar in you. But it's not coming to reopen the wound. It's coming to close the cycle, to let you see yourself clearly and realize just how far you've come. You may listen if you choose, but let your inner peace make the decision, because this isn't about reconnection. It's about closure, graceful, sacred, complete. And the moment you put down what no longer belongs, something new will arrive. I can sense it in your energy field, the presence of new connections. Gentler, lighter, more pure. No hiding, no games, just soul-aligned beings, recognizing each other without needing too many words. Trust will grow softly. A new friendship, a person who understands you without you having to explain yourself. A space where you are allowed to simply be you. And I also feel this. Your outer home is beginning to reflect your inner home. You may be changing where you live, or maybe you'll just feel the urge to repaint a wall, clear out an old closet, or move your desk to face a new direction. You don't need a reason because new energy is arriving, and your space is preparing to receive it. Even the air you breathe will feel different. You'll sleep more peacefully. Wake earlier without an alarm. No more heaviness, no more exhaustion, and one day soon you'll look back and won't even recognize the habits that used to define you. Your diet will shift. Your style will evolve. Your way of entering each new day will feel entirely renewed. This is how you restructure your energy. And Sagittarius, hear me clearly, you're not changing for anyone, you're upgrading to match the vibration of your own soul. This change isn't temporary because you're not just reinventing your image. You're healing from the roots. There's no going back now. You've chosen authenticity and the universe honors that. And then you'll begin to notice synchronicities that feel like something out of a movie. Someone says exactly what you were just thinking. A song plays, the one you didn't know you needed. A message appears, answering a question you hadn't even spoken aloud. The universe is speaking to you, directly, intimately. It's a divine confirmation that you're in the right place at the right time, no more signs needed, and there's an opportunity approaching. A trip, an invitation, a road you've never traveled before. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It only needs to make your heart whisper, yes, that's the one. Don't underestimate a small change. It might just be the door to your greatest destiny. Starting in December, you'll feel a quiet stability anchoring within. Money begins to flow again, not all at once, but steadily. Ideas start to form into action. You become clear about what you want to build, not because you're rushing, but because you know the time has come. And strangely, you won't feel excited. You'll feel calm. That sense of certainty won't come from anything outside of you. It will come from deep within. A quiet voice saying, at last, all the pieces have come together. The love you deserve will arrive the same way, not in chaos, not in confusion, but as a soft agreement between two souls who recognize each other. You'll know it not with your mind, but by the absence of fear. They won't ask you to become someone else. They'll smile because you are exactly who you are. I see an image. Meant just for you, a seed inside the fire. It was once tested by loss, by doubt, by the silence of loneliness. But the seed didn't burn, it waited. And now, after the storm, the soil is rich. It will rise. And that seed is you, Sagittarius, the one who has survived it all. To finally bloom, in the light of your own truth, no need to be understood, no need to be applauded, just the freedom to be real from this moment forward. Your energy will begin to heal others without even trying. You will say the words someone needs to hear not because you studied them, but because you've lived them. You felt the pain and walked through it. So if there are days when you feel like you're not doing enough, remember this, your presence is light. You don't need to push, you don't need to prove. And if fear starts to creep back in, say this aloud, I am safe in my truth, what is meant for me can never be lost. Let that be your anchor, hold on to it every time the world begins to shake, because Sagittarius, the battle phase is over. This is the season of harvest, of expansion, of living your soul's real mission. October 22nd, open the portal, but the path ahead. That is where your true story begins. Walk slowly, but don't stop. You've already made it through the storm, and now it's time to be nourished. If you feel this message in your spirit, type in the comments, I am safe in my truth, I am ready to be nourished. The universe is listening, and the path will reveal itself the moment you soften your grip and walk by faith. The fire that once burned you is now cleansing you. Every chaos you've ever endured was never a punishment. It was preparation, and can you feel it now? Something sacred is coming closer. Your connection to higher realms is expanding. Archangel Michael is still with you. But this time, not as a warrior ready to fight. He arrives in silence, like a guide in the mist. No force, no command, only a gentle whisper. This way, and suddenly, things begin to come into focus. The real faces, the true path. The sacred spaces where your soul no longer has to shrink, but can finally expand. And when you hesitate, your intuition will rise. A quiet voice within you, like a river that can no longer be held back. In the days ahead, you will feel more, your mind will be sharper, your body more finely attuned. If a place drains your spirit, withdraw. If a person weighs down your heart, let go. No justification, no explanation. Your soul doesn't need confusion, it needs air to breathe. An emotional detox has begun. You'll start rejecting the thoughts that once clung to you. Old guilt, promises made out of fear, versions of yourself you tried to maintain just to avoid disappointing others. The universe never asked you to be perfect. It asks you now to be light, to be free, to be true. You used to pray from a place of lack. Now you are learning to pray from a place of fullness, not begging on your knees, but opening your heart with quiet certainty. And because of this, what comes to you from here on will no longer demand your exhaustion. It will only ask for your alignment. The next connections will be sacred, not necessarily romantic, but soul to soul. You will recognize them in a single glance. No need to explain yourself, no need to perform. Their presence will feel like confirmation. You are not alone. Your eyes will shift. Your voice will soften because you no longer seek approval. You finally approved of yourself. And when that happens, everything false will fade away on its own. Soon you will stand at crossroads. One path safe and familiar, the other new, overwhelming. but it sets your heart ablaze. That second path is yours. Don't wait for perfect signs. Don't wait to feel ready. The new doesn't need to be flawless. It only needs to be true for you. And if fear returns, remember this: true abundance never comes from accumulation. It comes from peace. What's meant for you can never be lost, and what has been lost will not remain if it no longer resonates. In the weeks to come, the universe will reward you in a way that's unmistakably clear. A door will open, an opportunity will knock, an unexpected reunion will unfold. You won't need to go searching. You'll simply know, and in what's arriving, there will be a sacred invitation back to the purpose you once forgot: to teach, to heal, to inspire, to tell your story so that others may find the light through it. You don't need a plan. You only need to be present. A single word from you, one effortless moment, could become a lighthouse for someone who's lost their way. The story that was once a wound is now a map for someone else. You didn't choose the easy path, you chose the path of the soul, and the universe sees that, your angels see that, we see that, and now you have nothing left to prove, only to live in truth. Let me say this to you with deep reverence in my voice: the darkest chapter has passed. There are no more tests to determine if you're worthy. You are already worthy because you walked through the dark with the tiny flame you kept alive inside. Now is the time for you to receive. Heaven is opening above you. Everything that no longer fits is dissolving. Take the next step, slowly but with sacred faith. And if one day you forget, if doubts creep in again, if you feel the need to prove something all over again, whisper this truth to yourself: I am safe in my truth. What is meant for me can never be lost. If these words touch something in you, leave a comment below. I am ready to receive gentle and sacred abundance. Just one small affirmation can shift the frequency of how you walk into the new month. And from here on, the journey is no longer about seeking. It's about living fully. And if someday you question again, if you wonder whether you're on the right path, pause and remember: a soul that has walked through darkness, but still chooses to believe in the light, will never be lost, because it's that quiet faith, the kind no one sees, that becomes the greatest miracle a human heart can create. Sagittarius, this is your moment. You don't have to do much. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to be yourself, and the light will find you. Your voice will be heard, your energy will be honored, and the path you walk will shine in a way no one needs to explain. Keep living truthfully. Keep trusting. Keep feeling, because what's coming next is no longer a vague promise, the natural result of living in alignment with who you really are. From this moment on, what once held you back can no longer reach you, and what truly belongs to you will begin to recognize you. The universe isn't waiting for you to become more worthy. It only asks that you keep walking forward. And every time you choose trust over fear, every time you whisper, I won't go back, you are reconnecting your soul's covenant with life. And life responds with doors that open as effortlessly as breath. The energy surrounding you now is the energy of full expansion. No more old boundaries. No more roles you have to hold up. Don't hide. Don't apologize for your light. Don't fear the depth of your emotions. You've already shown that depth does not contradict peace. That love is not weakness. That sensitivity is not a flaw. It is the strength of a soul that knows how to listen. What begins now will not repeat what came before, because your soul has awakened. And when a soul awakens, the entire universe rejoices. So now, lift your head, take a deep breath, and give thanks. Thank yourself for walking through the fire. Thank your heart for staying soft even after it broke. Thank the unseen for guiding you when you weren't sure you could keep going. What's arriving next is not a reward. It's the result of your loyalty to your inner truth. Heaven is watching you with eyes full of reverence, because you didn't just survive. You became something stronger than the pain itself. And if you're still here, if these words are touching something deep and quiet inside you, then I invite you to do one small, powerful thing. Leave behind an affirmation for yourself and for the universe to hear loud and clear. I am no longer seeking approval. I am ready to live in my own light. You can subscribe, comment, share this message, because every interaction you offer becomes light in this space, so that other awakening souls just like you can find their way home. My name is Andromeda, and I hold you in the purest frequency of the universe. May your path be illuminated. May every step bring you closer to who you truly are. And may you always remember this: you were born to be reborn, and you are doing exactly that. I'll see you again in another reading when heaven calls your soul once more.